friends, my name is Cole, and this is the first video of its kind on my channel. I've tried to film this video like 3 or 4 times in the last year, and every time I don't finish it. Whether it's I ran out of time, I got bored, whatever. But this time, I am going to finish it. And I'll be talking a little bit about why I feel like I need to finish it in a little bit. But first, let me tell you about what I'm going to build. Okay, so it all started in 2020. You know, 2020, when I graduated college. No, I'm kidding. I'm talking about COVID. Like many people, I moved back into my parents' house, and in those early days, my parents developed this unique ability to only walk into my room when I was in a meeting. I don't know if that's going to get passed down like genetically or if it'll skip a generation. That's not the point. At the time, it was very annoying, and so I came up with this project. I didn't really have the means or the drive to make it back then, which I guess I still don't, but that's the point of the video, and I promise I will get to that. I just need you to bear with me for a little bit longer. So yeah, I came up with this. I realized it looks like a weird Lego. Let me explain. All right, here's my beautiful drawing up close and personal. For the more observant among you, you might be able to tell that this is a box. But what you might not be able to tell is that each one of these circles represents an LED, and the rectangles above them represent buttons that can be used to turn the LEDs on or off. Pretty basic, I know, but I might have something more interesting to put onto the backside of this box, depending on the theoretical deadline that I've set for myself. So I set this deadline a year ago after I got back from OpenSauce 2024, and it made me realize that I wanted to make things again, because I haven't done that since I was a kid. But to be honest, this is where the video dies. I give the background, I explain the project, but then I don't actually make the thing. I don't know if that's because all of the amazing projects I saw at OpenSauce were so cool and so interesting that I don't feel like I could compare. But the deadline was OpenSauce 2025, which is in a week. And I just have to make the thing if I want to be true to myself. So I have to start making it now. And I keep delaying, like even filming this clip, I was trying to like rehearse just to push it off a little bit longer. That feels like fear, I don't know. But I just need to start doing the thing. And even though I don't have the skills, because I don't have any electronic experience and I have basically no 3D printing and 3D modeling experience, I just have to do it. So I'm gonna start, and hopefully I will film as much of it as I can, but I will finish the thing and you will see something at the end of the video. I promise. So I have realized something, which is that I don't have any like buttons. I was thinking that I could like 3D print a button and then there would be a way to like easily do this, but I don't think there is. I think I need something with like a positive and a negative on it, essentially. I don't even know if that's right. So I may need to order a couple of buttons. We're gonna find out. Never mind, there were some buttons in this bag. Okay, I just realized I left something out when I was showing you my drawing. The reason for the LEDs and the buttons is to kind of make like a physical representation of a status indicator like you would see on Slack or Discord or whatever. So there's more context. Okay, I think I got the button working. I don't think it's perfect because, okay, it turned on and then it flashes and then it turns off. I'm pretty sure the tutorial I was following was talking about eliminating bounce, which is, I guess, the button thinking that it's being pressed a bunch or something like that. And I skipped that, so maybe that's the problem. But it kind of works. Kind of. Okay, it's pretty close to working. It seems like sometimes the button press doesn't work. But then when you press it a couple times, it turns on and then turns off when you press it. No, turns on. No, double pressed. Turns off. Yeah, it's not doing the flashing anymore, which is good, but it needs a little more work, and I'm getting pretty close. I'm gonna try and fix it so the button works perfectly, and then I'm probably gonna call it a night. I may later tonight try and do some modeling for the box that this is gonna go in. I know that this is one LED and I need it to be 3 LEDs. And likely all of it running on the board. Or actually, it looks like I might have another board with a smaller breadboard attached to it, so I might be able to use that. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and get this single button working perfect, and then we'll go from there. Never mind, I figured out what it is. I was having some trouble putting the button into the breadboard, and it seems like it just, as far as I can manage, I can't get it to sit properly like I can the rest of the components. So I think it is just the button having poor contact with the metal in the breadboard. So I think it's actually fine. So I think I'm gonna call it for today, unless I work on the 3D model, which I probably should do because that is kind of important. And then I will have to figure out an efficient way to get 3 LEDs connected to this board. But that is definitely farther down the line. So I don't know when I'll see you next. Probably tonight. Hello, everyone. To the people who have seen my previous videos, which is probably not a lot of you, we're back in the car. Woo! So a little bit of an update. It is Saturday, which means it is the first day of open sauce. That also means I didn't finish my project before open sauce started, which is kind of a bummer. I don't have a lot of excuse, I guess. I mean, I didn't work on it like 3 of the 5 nights between last Sunday when I started and now. I was doing other stuff. But that's okay. The goal was to finish by today, but that doesn't mean I just have to stop. I can keep working on it. Because really, the goal is to finish it. The problem's been even starting, but now that I've started, I should just finish. It doesn't really matter when. But for now, we're going to open sauce, and I'll show you some of the stuff that I see there. So, see you in a bit.
Well, good luck with getting your more talent running. I can live with that.
Okay, shot for shot.
Wait.
Okay.
He told me. Oh, no. I cut him.
So, Operation, I vaguely remember, is the game where
I got it.
you pick a little piece out, and if you touch the side, it goes, and then you lose.
Yep.
That's it.
Hello, welcome back from open sauce. I'm not currently wearing a shirt because I'm very sunburned. There was an outdoor stage and I wanted to see a talk there, but the talk happened right as the clouds decided to go away, so it was actually fully in the sun, and I didn't put sunscreen on because I thought it'd be mostly indoors and not sunny for when I was outside. Anyways, I'm gonna be wearing a hat tomorrow. I don't think I filmed a lot because I was at talks for most of the day. But I don't think there's a lot of talks that I want to see tomorrow. So I will hopefully have more footage of more exhibits for tomorrow. In terms of the project, like I said before, we didn't finish before the event started, but we are still working on finishing it. The problem is that I tried to move to the Proto Shield board as well as the like mini breadboard. I probably foolishly tried to move to them and do all 3 LEDs and buttons at the same time, and that just hasn't worked at all. So then now I've kind of tried to do just one of each, which is still not working. That was like a good chunk of Friday when I was supposed to be working. So it got frustrating and I didn't want to work on it anymore, but after getting back from open source, I'm quite inspired. So I think I'm gonna keep working on it. Yeah, I guess we'll see where I get. I probably can't work for more than an hour because it's already like 10 p.m. and I gotta wake up for the convention tomorrow. But yeah, if I make progress, you'll see it. And if not, then I will see you at open source tomorrow. Okay, I swear a second ago all 3 lights were on. The lights definitely, the LEDs definitely work, but so far the buttons still aren't changing anything. I did just pull up this photo, which made me realize that the two sides of the rows are actually not connected. So I switched that for the button that's linked to the green LED, but that doesn't seem to have fixed it. But that is good to know because I just kind of assumed that I could use this whole row as one piece, and I don't think I can really. So that's good to know. But I'm still working on it. It is now time for me to go to bed though, so hopefully I'll finish it when I get back tomorrow. We'll see.
The plushie? Oh, that's right. I signed her car with the laser.
No way. No way.
No way. No, I mean, it should be.
How long does it take to set? Left and right take a while. Jump is. I would say for jump, imagine jumping into the line on a button. Right. I got you guys for the
5, 4, 3, 2. Here we go.
Alrighty. Count down with me, guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I did it again. I don't really have a good explanation for what happened this time, other than it's the same thing that I always do, which is just kind of let it fall to the side. I don't really have a good explanation for what happened, other than I just kind of gave up, like I have been doing for years. But it's December, and I would love to finish this by the end of the year, even though I've pushed the goal line many times before. I think with how close I think I am and how close the end of the year is, it feels like those would be a good match. So I did what you do whenever you run into a problem that you can't figure out. You buy more stuff. So I've decided I'm gonna go with the I'm not making a PCB. I'm just gonna solder stuff. And I also bought I also bought like little mini boards because I realized that the ones I have are not really gonna. The one I have is not really gonna work for the scale that I'm thinking about for this thing, and this definitely does. So hopefully this works the same. It is also not like a branded thing, I don't think. It's like a a dupe. So yeah, we're gonna try both of those, and I'm just gonna start doing it because that's what worked last time for me to start this project. So if I do that again, hopefully that goes well. Oh, also, soldering iron and solder that I got from my dad. That was just in our garage. That definitely hasn't been used in a while based on the state of that soldering iron, but it was free, so I'm gonna use it. Okay, so first order of business is to take everything that is, all of this, and put it onto the new boards and make sure everything works. And then we can think about soldering stuff. Okay, there was a slight driver issue with the new boards. I think I figured it out. Quick lunch break and then back to work. Welcome to my office. The reason we're in the bathroom is because I need to clean my soldering iron. And this was the first place I thought of in my apartment that has a sink, an outlet, and an open window. A window that will be open. Okay, I'm gonna start heating up the soldering iron and then I'll tell you what I realized while I was having lunch. Ooh, there's lights. That'll be fun. So I realized while I was having lunch that I was doing the same thing that I've been doing for the whole video, and really the thing that is the whole reason for the video, which is just kind of like half committing. Like I kept trying to just put components into the board and bending them so that everything is touching and they should have a solid connection but won't actually have a connection, which is where solder and the iron come into play. I'm just gonna do it. I don't have a way to desolder anything, which you would probably think is a reason to make sure I get it right on the first try, but I think that's just gonna keep me from doing it as well. So instead, we're going to just try our best to do it right the first try, and if not, then I have other microcontrollers, I have other boards, I have other components. So we'll just try again, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, I think the iron is warm enough. It's a little hard to tell. I've been poking this piece of toilet paper and seeing it get slightly more charred. So we're just gonna, I don't think this is gonna be, I don't think there's a wrong way to do this. I think it's just, if it's not warm enough, then it doesn't work. But we're gonna try. Ooh, it's sizzling a little bit, which feels right. Yep, I do see some solder, like a blob of solder that was on there come off. Also, this looks like a perfectly good sponge, but I use it to clean my apartment. Maybe I won't do that after this. All right, here it goes. Also, if it wasn't made obvious, I don't have anything to do with the project that I'm working on, so the board is being held between a candle and some coasters. Unfortunately, the coasters are a little bit in the way, actually. Hold on. How many? Can we get away with 2? Okay. 2 plus my hand on it. Surely that's enough. Okay, this is a lot jankier than I expected. Hold on. I soldered the wrong one, but I soldered something and it wasn't too bad. Hey, you know what? That's a decent, it's an okay solder from what I've seen. Okay, couple of updates. A second candle has hit the DIY electronics project. Also, I did one set off camera. I think the iron was hot enough. I just realized that some of the solder was going through to the, I guess, top side of the board. which is perfect. Like I think it's a connection on both sides. It looks good. So I wanted to do one more LED on camera, and then it'll probably be a montage from there. I have found that this 2 candle setup makes it a lot easier because it was okay. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was more solder than it needed. It makes it great because I don't have to worry about like the lever arm, I guess, of the board, like the side of the board just kind of hanging. Oh, I just burnt the bottom of my coaster a little bit. That's okay. It's cork. Ooh, I don't know. This one was not good. This one was mediocre at best, probably. So I think somehow the 3rd round was the worst. Let's see what the other side looks like. Not great, but it's definitely soldered. You know what? Overall, I'm like pretty happy because this is the first time soldering. Yeah, I'm happy with how these turned out. One quick thing I want to mention before I keep going. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. I thought I was having a problem fitting everything onto one small board. I realized that I actually want it on 2 different boards. So it's going to be kind of like this. Like the buttons are going to be on this board facing up, and the LEDs will be right here. So I'll press a button on the top and it'll change these LEDs. For me, it's kind of cool to like start to visualize the actual like full shape and design of it, even though this doesn't have anything on it. This only has LEDs on it, but we're getting there. Sacrifices have to be made. I'm currently deciding how crackhead I want to be. As you can see, I kind of disassembled a jumper cable and I am stealing all of its wire. Part of me says at least do it right, but part of me is like the other option is making a chain of solder across many holes, and I'm like, well, both of those are pretty bad, so I'm just gonna do the one that's easier. Okay, clearly that was a bad idea. I'm gonna not do that. I did buy some solder wick and I guess flux, and actual wire. Also, I got a haircut. Also, it's now 2026. The new plan is no deadline. I just need to finish. Period. End of story. I'm taking advantage of the fact that it's a new year and I'm the most motivated to achieve goals. So hopefully that's enough to get me to the end. We'll see. Okay, the good news is that the desoldering went pretty well. It just took a little while to get everything to desolder. The problem is I now don't remember the layout of how everything's supposed to be wired together, and I don't think I wrote it down. Maybe I can figure it out by looking through videos, but I might just be refiguring all of that out, which is probably gonna take a little while. And then I gotta cut all the wires and like strip all the ends and stuff. More montage time. So, how did I do? Okay, so I just learned a lesson. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a row of inputs with an A next to them and a row of inputs with a D next to them. A stands for analog. You know what an LED is? Digital. You know what digital starts with? A D. Guys, look. I soldered it and it's blinking the LED. Wait, hold on. Oh my god. I just added the code, so now it blinks through all three. I feel like a god. I cannot even describe how excited I am that that worked first try, essentially, disregarding a couple minor mistakes. This came at a really good time because I was really considering stopping permanently. But that worked, and that has fully restored my confidence plus extra. Now we gotta add the buttons in, which was previously where we were getting a lot of issues. Solely based on how happy I am, I think it's gonna go better this time. Okay, so I soldered incorrectly. I soldered a couple wires together that do need to be soldered together, but on the wrong terminal of the button, the wrong leg of the button. So I have to fix that, but I've cut the last 3 wires I need that'll connect to the digital pins for each of the buttons, and then theoretically once all that's soldered together it'll be done and I'll be able to plug it in, write a little more code, and then the whole project will be done. So that's very exciting. All right, it took a little bit of time, but I think this is the last wire to solder. Oh. And of course it comes dislodged. Ooh, don't love that joint, to be honest. It's become quite difficult to maneuver around this 3-dimensional rat's nest. I wouldn't necessarily call that good, but it's probably passable. You know what, that one's pretty good. Okay. Oh, it's not 100% 90 degrees, but that's okay. We can push the wires to make it a little bit closer. Cool. Now we gotta plug it in and see if it works. Okay, it is many hours later. Here is the recap. I finished soldering. I updated the code to what I understand it should be, and then just the red LED was staying on permanently and didn't seem to be reacting to the button being pressed at all. I tested some other stuff, confirmed my theory that the LEDs were just staying on permanently based on the code. Somehow that didn't clue me into the fact that power was just going straight through the button without being stopped by the fact that the button was not being pressed. So then when I looked at the circuit, I realized 5 volts through one leg out to the other leg that is on the same path, like straight to the digital pin, obviously now I understand that that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I need to resolder, I think. Pretty sure I can just flip, because I have all the 5-volt lines and all the ground lines come together into one and then connect to the nano. So hopefully I can just switch those. I'm gonna try that. We're gonna see if it works, and if not, then I think I have to call it a night because it's kind of late and I have work tomorrow. All right, I think this is the moment of truth. I don't know if the right code will load in to the board, but let's see if it works. Okay, that doesn't seem promising. Let me try recompiling and uploading this. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, this is the same problem from before. Okay, new day, new round of resoldering. Also, I learned about Tinkercad in the sense that I learned that you can do like a schematic. So I just played with that for a couple hours until I got the layout that was similar to what I'm trying to build, and also worked with the code that I have because I'm pretty sure the code is right. So theoretically, this new round of resoldering matches what I've done in Tinkercad. So hopefully when I plug this in and I upload the code, it'll be almost right because it's not doing the keeping the LED on. It's just turning on when I press the button, which is fine. I can iterate from. I just need it to work normally. So we're gonna find out right now. Guys, I plugged it in and I was about to turn the camera on, but I was like, let me just test it to make sure. Not only does it work, it's keeping the LED on. I think I'm done. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, so when I plugged it in, all the LEDs are off, but as soon as I pressed a button, like let's push the yellow stays on, and then the other one turns off. And if I do red, no, it's hard to click, hold on. The red stays on. And I can do green again. I can do, okay, hold on. Let me get a better setup. One more time. Green stays on, yellow, red. If I hit red again, it doesn't really do anything. I might switch that. Yellow, green, red. Oh my god, it worked. It's so cool. Can't believe it finally works. I cannot believe it. I wasn't expecting to finish this today, so I don't even really know how to react. I was unprepared for this. Obviously, there are like some things missing. It can only run while plugged into my computer. I do kind of want to make a housing for it, but right now I don't really care about any of that. It works. This is what I've been working towards for like 7 months, and given what it actually is, it should not have taken 7 months. But the fact that I did it is just, it's amazing. I am over the moon. I can't even really describe how I feel. This makes me really excited for the future. So, here it is. This little box took 7 months to make. Now, obviously it's not 7 months of work, but it was 7 months of fighting myself to take this project from start to finish. I don't feel like I have magically become a new person, but I definitely really enjoyed working on this, and I feel like I want to build cooler and bigger things in the future, so that's good. I don't know how much I've highlighted it throughout this video, but for a while I feel like I've been losing what I would consider like my true self, and the whole point of doing all of this has been to make progress towards getting that version of myself back before it's gone forever. One of the biggest blockers I've experienced has been this feeling of, why am I doing this? How does this help me progress in life? And at some point I realized that it wasn't going to be as quantifiable as other things in my life, like work or the gym or whatever. It was the emotions I felt throughout the project, the highs and the lows. that's what makes life feel more like life. Wow, that was dramatic. But I do feel like I touched on the points that I was trying to make. I learned a lot from this project, especially now that I've gone through and edited all of the bits together. A lot of obvious mistakes that I probably will make again, but I will try not to make now that I have made them and can hopefully learn from them. It did bring back that passion I have for making things, bring back that true self. And it definitely has made me want to work on another project soon. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'm hoping to do another one. Well, actually, I'm hoping to do one starting maybe like next week, because it took me 3 months to get around to editing this video. So Open Sauce 2026 is this coming weekend in a couple days. So, you know, that's a nice full circle moment for the video. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, maybe consider giving it a like. And if you want to stay with me on this journey of making things, maybe consider subscribing. Okay, thanks. Bye.